Welcome back to Ambition Fuel, where we share stories that light the fire within your heart. Today's story is about two brothers, two hearts, and one bridge that connected them. It's a story of pride, loss, and forgiveness, and how sometimes the hardest thing to rebuild isn't made of wood or stone, but trust. Stay with us till the very end, because what happens on this bridge might just change the way you see forgiveness forever. They say a bridge is more than just wood and steel. It's a connection between places, between people, between hearts. But what happens when that bridge breaks? Not because of storms or time, but because of pride. Once upon a time, in a quiet Indian village nestled between green hills and a wide river, there were two brothers, Arjun and Ravi. They were born just 2 years apart, but they were like twins, always together. As kids, they raced across the old wooden bridge that connected their village to the market. They shared secrets, laughter, and dreams. Arjun, the elder, was bold, ambitious. He dreamed of building something great, of leaving the village one day to make his name known. Ravi, on the other hand, was calm, thoughtful, the kind of man who saw value in simplicity and people, not things. When their parents passed away early, the two promised each other one thing: no matter what happens, we stay together. That bridge, their childhood bridge, became a symbol of that promise. But promises are easy when life is kind. It's when storms come that we learn what we're really made of. The dream and the divide. Years later, the brothers opened a small business, a furniture shop in the nearby town. It wasn't much, but it was theirs. Arjun was the visionary. He wanted to expand, to take risks. Ravi preferred stability, saving every penny, avoiding loans. At first, their differences balanced each other. But success has a strange way of testing unity. When a large company offered Arjun a partnership, if they invested everything, he jumped at the chance. Ravi hesitated. We should be careful, Pai. One wrong step and we'll lose everything.
You'll never understand big dreams, Ravi. You're too afraid to fail.
Those words cut deep. Ravi signed the papers anyway, out of loyalty. He trusted his brother more than himself. But life had other plans. The deal turned out to be a scam. They lost everything: their savings, their shop, their home. The fallout. In the aftermath, silence filled their small rented room. For weeks, they barely spoke.
If you had supported me fully, maybe we would have made it work.
You're blaming me? I followed you into that deal. Pride and pain clashed like thunder. Harsh words flew, words they could never take back. I hope you find what you're looking for, Arjun. But it won't be peace. And he walked away. From that day, two brothers who once shared everything became strangers. One left the village, chasing success. The other stayed behind, helping neighbors, living simply. The bridge between them, once strong, now stood empty. Years later, 5 years passed. Arjun had built a life in the city. He drove a car, wore suits, and had his name on an office door. But inside, he was empty. He had everything, except the one person who had always believed in him. Sometimes, late at night, he'd stare at an old photo, two boys smiling on a bridge. He'd close his eyes, whispering, "If only." But pride kept him silent. He told himself it was too late, that Ravi wouldn't forgive him. The announcement. One summer morning, a letter arrived from his old village. It was an invitation. The village council was rebuilding the old wooden bridge, the same one from his childhood. They wanted donors to contribute.
Even that bridge is being rebuilt. Maybe some bridges get second chances.
For a moment he thought of going, but fear stopped him. What if Ravi was still angry? What if his presence only reopened old wounds? Still, something inside whispered, "Go." The return. A week later, Arjun found himself standing on the edge of the village. Nothing had changed. The smell of wet earth, the sound of kids laughing by the river. And there it was, the half-built bridge, wooden planks stacked, ropes tied, men working. As he approached, his heart stopped. Among the workers was Ravi. Time had changed him, a little older, thinner, but the same calm eyes. He was lifting heavy wood, sweat dripping, directing others. Arjun stood frozen. Should he call out? Should he walk away? Before he could decide, Ravi turned, and their eyes met. Years of silence, regret, and unsaid words collided in that one moment. Ravi didn't smile. He didn't frown either. He simply nodded, a quiet acknowledgement, not of forgiveness, but of presence. His voice cracked.
I heard about the bridge. I wanted to help.
Ravi looked down at the river and said, "Good. The village needs all the help it can get. No anger, no warmth, just distance." Arjun worked beside him that day, carrying wood, tightening ropes, hammering nails. They spoke little, but the silence was no longer filled with hatred, only tension and unspoken hope. The storm. That evening, dark clouds gathered. The sky roared as rain poured heavily. Everyone ran for cover. Everyone except Ravi, who stayed to secure the bridge so it wouldn't be washed away.
Ravi, it's dangerous.
If we don't tie this support, the whole structure will collapse. Lightning flashed. The wind howled. The river below raged like never before. Arjun grabbed a rope to help. For the first time in years, they worked side by side, wordless, soaked, but united. Then suddenly, a plank snapped. Ravi slipped, his foot dangling over the edge. Without hesitation, Arjun lunged forward, grabbing his brother's hand. Ravi looked up, eyes wide with shock.
I won't let go again. Not this time.
He pulled with all his strength until Ravi was safe. Both fell to the ground, panting, the rain washing away dirt, and maybe their pain too. When the storm finally calmed, they sat under a small shelter, silent. The bridge had survived, barely, but something far more important had been saved too. Why did you come back, Arjun?
I thought success would fill the emptiness, but every time I crossed a bridge, I thought of this one, and of you.
Ravi smiled faintly for the first time in years. You always were stubborn. They laughed softly, a sound neither had heard in a long time.
I'm sorry, Ravi, for the words, the pride, everything.
Ravi's eyes softened. I was angry, but I never stopped hoping you'd come back. The message. As dawn broke, the brothers stood together, watching the sunrise over the river. The half-built bridge gleamed in golden light.
Funny, isn't it? This bridge connected us when we were kids, and it's doing it again.
Maybe that's what bridges are for, to remind us that no distance is too far if we're willing to cross. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting the pain. It means remembering without letting it control you. Sometimes, all it takes to rebuild a broken bridge is the courage to take one step toward the other side. Because no bridge, no heart, is ever too broken to be rebuilt. You've just heard part 1 of The Bridge Between Hearts, here on Ambition Fuel. If you've ever lost someone because of pride or silence, remember, bridges can be rebuilt, one step at a time. But this story isn't over yet. In part 2, you'll see how forgiveness turns pain into strength, and how a broken bond becomes a beacon of hope for an entire village. Hit subscribe and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss part 2 of this life-changing story.